Welcome to Friday. Okay, rather than finding 20% of a number, what we're going to think about here is finding the number. In other words, what the 100% is. So if we know a percentage of a number, can we work out its whole? What we've got here is an example from the work that you're going to be doing today. And do remember that the pink is the questions for you to answer. So they are the fluency ones that you are going to answer. Although these are actually more reasoning ones. I think they're just the more basic questions on this particular sheet. Okay, so if I know 20% of an amount, I can find 100%. What do you think? Look at the bar model underneath. Do you remember yesterday we worked out what 20% was? We did that by finding 10% twice. So in other words, we could split our whole into 10 and then multiply it by 2 to find 10%, to find 20%, sorry. What I can also do is look at how many times that 20% goes into 100, which is really what's important here. So this would be my first 20%. This would take me then up to 40%. This would be 60%. This would be 80%. This would be 100%. In other words, there are 5 lots of 20 in my 100%. So if I know what 20% is, how can I use that to work out my whole? Remember, this and this are equal. So if I know this, I just need to double it to find this. And then add another one on to find this, and another one to find this, and another one to find this. Let's give you an example. 20% of a number is, I'll start with an easy one, is 5. I want to know what my 100% is, what my whole is. Can't get that percent sign in. There we go. So I want to work out what my whole is. Well, if I know this is 5%, this must also, sorry, not 5%, just 5. This must also be 5, which means this must be 5, this must be 5, and this must be 5. They all must be 5 because they're equal. So now I can think, right, well, I know I've got 5 here 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means that my 100% is 5 lots of 5, 25. What about if 20% was 13? If that's 13, that's 13, that's 13, that's 13, and that's 13. So I know that 40% would be 26, 60% would be, can you work it out? 39. Add another 13 for 80%, so 39, add the 10 is 49, add the 3 is 52, and to get to 100%, 52 add 13 is, add the 10 is 62, add the 3, 65. So 100% is 65. By the way, can I use this to work out 10% if I know 20%? I just need to halve it. Half of 13 is 6.5. That's not part of the question, but that's just an extra bit to see if you could remember from yesterday. Okay, so if you know 20% of a number, yes, you can work out 100%. Let's look at this next example. 40% of a number is 1,000. What is the number? Now that's a bit trickier because that means that will also be 1,000, but I'm left with one section on its own. That can't be 1,000. That means I've got to work out 20% of each one to work out this last section here. So if 2 of the sections are 1,000, one of the sections must be half of that, which means each section must be worth 500. Now I already know that these two are both 1,000 because this one here is the same as this one here. I've just realised I'm waving my pen above the screen, and of course you can't see that. So what I meant there was I already know these two bigger sections are both 1,000 because this one tells me and this one is equal to it. So I just need to add on my last 500. So 2,000 add 500 is, of course, 2,500. Have you seen how we work that out? Let's just go through that once more. If I know that 40%, which is what this is, because it's split into 5 sections, so we must have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. If I know that 40% is 1,000, 20% must be half of that, which is 500, which means that last section is also 500. So I know these two sections are 1,000, which means these two sections are 1,000. So altogether here we've got 2,000, and then we've got 500 at the end. Okay, that is what I want you to have a look at today. To start with on your sheet. So I want you to have a go at those ones, pause the video, and then come back when you've done those. Okay, I hope those weren't too bad. The next section is about scaling up. I'm not going to do this one for too long, but let's have a look at what we can do by scaling. If I know 7% of 400, here we've got times, but don't forget they're both the same thing. How can we work that out easily? Sorry, that's what the question is asking us. How can we work out 7% of 400? Well, I can use what I already know. This number here is very closely linked to 100. In fact, it's 4 times bigger. I can do 7% of 100 because it's just 7 out of 100. So it's 7. Remember, 7% is the same as 7 out of 100. 400 is 4 times bigger than 100, which means our percentage will be 4 times bigger. So 7% of 400 is 7 times 4, which is 28. So when you've got a percentage, to one that is linked to a number you know, use it and just make it bigger or make it smaller accordingly. So you could have found 7% of 50 by halving this, which would be 3.5. So I'm using what I know and scaling it up and scaling it down. If you know 13% of 100, that equals, sorry, I forgot my percentage sign, that equals 13. Can you do 13% times 600? You've got to make this 6 times bigger because 600 is 6 times bigger than 100. So I would need to do 13 times 6. There's a multiplication sign there. 3 times 6 is 18. 1 times 6 is 6. Add 1 is 78. Did you remember how to do column multiplication, by the way, for a single digit number? You did that right at the beginning of lockdown, those of you that did the math then. Okay, that's simple scaling for you. The next part in the sheet has got some scaling to do, so have a go at that one as well. I will see you guys that are watching today. Most of you I will see on Monday. On Monday, We'll go through those. If you're having trouble, just let me know and we'll go through them. And good luck with them. They are trickier. I did say it was going to get trickier. So good luck with them. Have a go. See how you do. See you Monday.